Our faithfulness has no end, so I can see something beautiful. Every day is a brand new miracle. I can see something beautiful. Sun is shining on my face, and every day is a brand new miracle. You can be praised upon grace. It's something beautiful. It's something beautiful. Well, I am originally from Sydney, Australia. I've been living in Nashville now for about 6 years with my wife, and I've become a patriotic Australian. I wasn't that before, to be really honest. I found patriotic Australians kind of really annoying and frustrating, but I've since become one. I own like Australian flag flip-flops that I wear, and I have an Australian cushion on the first chair you see when you come to our house, and I have one of those little kitsch signs on the back door that says "Caution, Kangaroos Crossing." Like I've become the person that I hate. But I think it's just the fact that it's my home country and I miss it, and it also means that I have. Actually, I should tell you the only time that I'm not a patriotic Australian is when I go to the Outback restaurant. I don't know if you've been there. That place is a sham, so it's the only place where I ever put on an American accent, because it just feels so wrong to be Australian. But it does mean that I've actually started to collect Australian stories, and I want to share one about a hero of mine. His name's Arthur Stace. Arthur, in 1931, walked into a church in Sydney, and he heard the preacher speak about eternity. He was speaking from Ecclesiastes, where it says that God has placed eternity in everybody's heart, no matter who you are. And the preacher went on to say that only Jesus, the Lord of eternity, could actually make that possible, could unlock that door. And Arthur knew that this longing in his heart. And so he went back outside, and underneath a tree, he prayed to the Lord of eternity. He became a Christian. The interesting thing is that Arthur at that stage was a homeless man in Sydney. And he wasn't quite sure how he could tell people this great news about eternal life that Jesus had brought with his blood. And so he decided he would find himself a piece of chalk. And he began to write the word eternity on the streets of Sydney. He'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go into the city, write eternity, go back to his tree. People would start arriving to work and they'd see this word everywhere. Getting off the bus, eternity, going into the bank, eternity. You know, they estimate that he wrote that word over 500,000 times on the streets of Sydney. For 24 years, no one knew who was writing the word. He was simply... Arthur Stace died in 1967. There was no real fanfare or anything when he passed away. And it would be over 30 years before we'd see that word again. And it was on the eve of the new millennium, the year 2000, as we ushered in on New Year's Eve in Sydney. At the stroke of midnight, fireworks exploded everywhere around Sydney Harbour, and up on our harbour bridge lit the word eternity in Arthur Stace's handwriting. It was a powerful word. I remember seeing that. And let me tell you, Australia is a very pagan country. 3% of people go to church on a Sunday in Australia, which is ridiculously low. You guys, you're statistically darkest place is Seattle at the moment, with 16% of people in church on a Sunday. So it gives you an idea how what we're like. To also give you another idea, this past New Year's Eve, on the Harbour Bridge during New Year's Eve celebrations, what lit up was Kylie Minogue's lips. I don't know if you know her, she's a famous singer, and they had her lips light up. There you go. That's what I'm paying. Anyhow, all that to say, I love the story of Arthur Stace. He was a man who seemed resourceless when it came to doing good for the kingdom. And yet the little that he had, he offered to God. And God used it powerfully to speak over a city to remind us that we were made for more than just this life. And I think in many ways, when I sing its my piece of chalk, and it makes me think that all of us have some kind of chalk in our lives that if we offer it to God, He will use it. And from even little things, He can make big things happen. So, anyway, I want to sing a song inspired by Arthur Stace. You never guess what I called it.
Here we go.
I was in California recently, and I said, you never guess what I called this song, and someone yelled out, chalk.
What's up, man? We're recording, Ed.
So,
Ed.
On a busy city street, underneath the moving feast. If you look, you just might see what I see. 'Cause it is written on the ground, almost lost within the crowd, but it won't stop crying out eternity. City, hear the sound like a symphony. It's crying out in every single heart that's beating. This is what we were made for. This is what we were made for. And as the people pass me by, I can't help but wonder why. We all live as if there's only one lifetime. When there's more than this lifetime, here and now. We can now cross the city, hear the sound like a symphony. It's crying now, and every single heart is beating. This is what we were made for. This is what we were made. Sing with me a song that lasts forever. So sing with me a song that lasts forever. Yeah, yeah. Can you hear it now? Can you hear the sound? Can you hear it now? How to be authentic as a Christian artist really kind of plagued me. I guess authentic as an artist, who happens to frame their life as a Christian. And I was chatting to a friend of mine who's an artist in his own right, a producer. His name's Charlie Peacock. And Charlie has been in the industry for a long time. He produced the Silver Wars, and all these great bands and artists. And I asked him one night, how do I know that I'm being authentic as a Christian? Really, I don't want to get to the end of my life and go, it was all just pretend. It all meant nothing. And he just turned to me as only Charlie can, and he said, you know what? Love is the compass. And it was a very simple little phrase, but it's interesting when you read writings by Luther or whoever. Amazing how many times they say pretty much the same thing, that love be your guide, which I guess is an informed love in light of the gospel and in light of the love that Jesus shows us. So that inspired this. So I had a writing session the next day and I said, I've got a great title for you. And if we don't tell Charlie, we won't have to give him any money. So I'm kidding about that. Okay, this is Love is the Compass. Here we go. I should go. Just need some direction, sir. I wandered from the road. Do you think that you could help me? Do you think that there's still hope? Tell me all I need to know. Tell me all I need to know. He said, here's the compass. It'll show you what is right, what is wrong. It'll turn the light on. Is the compass to lead you home? Oh, 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 it will lead you home. Oh, 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 I've been a stranger in a far-off land, wishing I could find a way to get back home again. I've been turned around so many times, I don't know where I am. Baby, all I need to know is a compass. It will show you what is right, what is wrong. Turn the light on. Is a compass. It will lead you home. Oh, 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 oh. It will lead you home.